Hello, this is Sule from Pomona, California, Zone 10A, and this footage was shot on March 14, 2020, which was yesterday. So I had escaped from jail. So I'm jailed at my own house. And let me tell you why. So I have a chronic illness and my job has kindly given me an option to stay home because of my chronic illness and the COVID-19. I am on the list of the high risk. So my husband has forced me into house arrest. He has forced me into sweaters, socks, my scarves, my beanies, and if possible, gloves. He hasn't forced that one, but yes, he has encouraged it. But I wanted to make some soup and I wanted to take you guys with me because first, it was fun escaping, and then because he was sleeping, and then second, because I was getting stuff from the garden to make this soup. All right, so we're gonna start with the yummy cilantro. Now my cilantro, it's still cold here, but my cilantro is starting to go to seed. But believe it or not, for my palate, I feel that this is when it tastes the best. And I'm using gloves, as you can see, but this is when it tastes the best for me personally. And when it does go to flour, I also eat the flowers or the flower buds. It just has an absolutely amazing taste. For me, it's very tender because the leaves are growing to go to flour. But anyways, yes, we're going to be getting some cilantro for our delicious soup that I'm about to show you how I make it. And one of the things I add is cilantro. And the great thing is that this is going to be fresh cilantro, right? Nothing better than fresh cilantro for our soup, and especially with this weather. All right, so let's go ahead and get our next ingredient, and our next ingredient is kale. Now, we have been eating kale, so I know that it's absolutely delicious and it's just so healthy for your body, like all the nutrients it has for you. I like to eat kale in soups. I really don't like them in salads or anything like that, but in soups, I definitely do love the kale. And when I get my kale, I just remove the middle, the stem. I just remove the stem because for me, that part isn't very tasty. But the whole leaf part, I do add to my soup. And well, again, nothing better than adding fresh kale for the soup. I mean, doesn't this look absolutely beautiful? I love it. Every day I come and it has new leaves and it's thriving. All right, and now let's head on over to get the last ingredient from the garden. That's gonna be my bunching onions. Now, these bunching onions were grown from seeds I collected last year in July. My bunching onion went to seed and I collected the seeds and this is what I got. And they've been growing absolutely fabulous. I mean, they came up right away. I didn't count the seeds when I put them in, but I would have to say that at least 98% of the seeds germinated. And I have been feeding them fish emulsion, but they look a little bit yellow because we have been having rain for a couple of days straight. As a matter of fact, when this video was shot yesterday, we were still having rain, and it was from morning to 9 non-stop. Not a lot, but yes, look at these. These are gonna be so good for our soup. They look absolutely fabulous, even with a little yellow in them. All right, first things first, we're gonna have to put water to boil, and I'm adding garlic to this water. And I'm also going to be adding half of a white onion. I normally use white, of course. I love it. I love the taste. And I'm also going to be using a dash of salt. Now, I'm only using a small amount of salt, and I'll show you in a little bit why I'm only adding a small amount. Let's bring it to a boil, and then I'll show you the next step in making this delicious soup. All right, it's time to put our chicken in the pot, and as you can see, the water has boiled. So we're gonna be adding this yummy, yummy chicken. Now, when I am preparing my chicken, when I bring it from the store, I use thighs for my soup, or I use the chicken legs, or sometimes I use both. So what I like to do, if you notice, some of them still have the skin on and some of them have the skin off. And I do this because I want the broth to have the soup. I want the soup to have a little bit of that I don't know, fat from the chicken skin, but I don't want it to be, too over greasy. I don't want a greasy soup. I just want a soup that has a lot of that chicken flavor and vitamins and nutrients. When boiling your chicken, don't forget to take the yucky out. I use this wooden spoon. I love it. And I take the foamy part that is on top when you're boiling your chicken. I think that's like the yuckiness and blood, or I don't know what really it is. But anyways, I don't like it, so I take it out. And I do this so that my soup doesn't have any yuckiness in it. But yeah, don't forget to take it out. All right, and here I have washed our harvest from the garden, the kale, the cilantro, and the little bunching onions. So let's go ahead and get these cut up. All right, and they're all cut up and they're ready to go into the pot. Since they are fresh from the garden, they are ready to give our soup the fabulous, delicious flavor. All right, so we're gonna start by adding our fresh kale. So let's go ahead and put that in the pot, and then we're gonna add our very delicious smelling cilantro. I love cilantro. And then we're gonna add our bunching onions all cut up. Aren't they pretty? So pretty. And this is gonna give our soup so much flavor. And now let's add the rest of our ingredients. So I'm going to be adding a couple of potatoes because I love potatoes. And we're also going to be adding some carrots. And we're going to be adding some celery. And we have one more ingredient. And that ingredient is the chicken flavor bouillon, and we add this to the soup to have a little bit of that extra delicious flavor. And this is why I added only a little bit of salt in the beginning, because the chicken bouillon does have salt in it. And then you just mix it up and you wait for it to come to a boil, and then we're gonna serve up our delicious soup. All right, and as you can see, in my house, we don't mess with our soup. We have special big bowls so that we can have our soup. And now the rice, I did add some rice to my bowl. And normally I suck at rice, but this one I did taste, and it tastes, oh God, so delicious. Like I said, normally I suck at it, but this one came out super duper good. All right, so let's go ahead and serve our soup up and get ready to eat it. Now, when I cook my soup, I wanted to have a lot of vegetables in the pot. And I like to cook it with the chicken because I feel like, of course, it gives the soup a great flavor, and also some of these vegetables, I would say most of the vegetables in the pot, I don't like them raw. So I do put them in the pot to cook with the chicken. Doesn't that look so good, you guys? It was. And I'm also going to be adding this to my plate. So some lemon, some cabbage. I love cabbage. Some pepper, like that's very spicy pepper. Some onion and some avocado. Those things absolutely cannot miss in my soup. The last thing to add to my plate is gonna be a squeeze or a dash of lemon. And this is the final ingredient to my plate. And I know it looks messy, but it smells absolutely delicious. And since I'm doing my voiceover, you know, I ate this soup already. The chicken was so tender, and the soup was so tasty. I mean, with all those veggies, it just has a lot of flavor. Now, every Hispanic family may do it different. This is how we do it in my family. This is how I do it for my family, and it tasted so delicious. Hopefully you can give it a try, but if not, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Well, guys, that's it from Little Beans Garden. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a great day, and as always, take care.